Yes, Myndfury's back on the channel, as well as Eli. Wow.
Let's go.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
It's
so Eli is the editor for Thrash.
mm-hmm.
He's been an editor, God man, early on when we were still in single digits, I think.
Yeah, I
And
Damn,
think so.
oh man,
that's crazy.
It's been a while.
what
I
made you get on? I've never asked you. What like legit made you get on the Thrash,
that's
bro?
that's a good. Well, on the Thrash specifically, well, it's because Thrash kicks ass. But um, to voice me in general, my story's kind of funny in that I was part of like a writing competition, and there was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of drama in this writing competition. And then I suppose I won't go into it too much, but idea being there were a lot of like internal politics with these people and this whole like because I was pretty new to the web novel world because of course growing up I was like I want to be a writer, yada yada yada. And
Yeah.
then I wanted to do like the light novel side of things, and I was like, sure, let's join some communities.
Mm-hmm.
So I stumble upon this one place, and then there's this competition that has all these politics. People are like I had a judge um, go back on their numbers for me and reduce them because the person they wanted to win didn't score as highly on the other judges
Bruh.
Wow.
to win. Yeah,
Interesting.
like that sort of stuff. And so
Dang.
Corrupted judges, I see.
Right, bro.
yeah, and then the writer, bless his heart, he saw that happen and was like, I'm forfeiting my position to him. Like
Mm.
he should
Okay.
advance. Like I saw that happen, and so I went forward, and then I was like, okay, now I feel like an asshole. Like what the hell? And then so I just didn't show up for the next round, and then in that community was one of the places that Dylan did a like outreach for, and was like, hey, like I want to start up this whole voice me idea, and I was like, why not? So I joined in, and everyone was like super cool and super supporting, and everyone wanted to learn how to write and stuff like that. And I had a skill set that I developed for a long time, and I was like, if you guys are interested to learn, like we can do some classes and stuff like that. Might as well just chill and talk about awesome stories and why they work. And ever
Okay.
since then, that's just kind of been a habit of mine.
Nice. That's interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of
Mm.
corruption.
Corruption. It's a long and complicated and dumb story, but at the end of it, because of the competition, I ended up being able to say that I'm a published writer.
Yeah.
But then when people ask where, I'm just like, don't support them.
they kind of they're a little weird.
Little bit weird. But yeah, no naming names, but it was an interesting time.
Okay.
Interesting time.
Interesting.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot.
It was really weird.
Interesting.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah,
Wow.
but hey, now I help edit Thrash. I write for a couple other projects. I also edit for I Am the CEO.
Hey.
Let's
Hype.
go.
And I believe we can say that so we can definitely say that I co-write for Rewritten.
Oh yeah, I did just drop a reaction on that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
Yo,
did. I
let's-
did.
Moff's reactions are so. I don't think he understands how high key it be. Like he comes off as like so like regular schmegular, but like the questions that he asks is like, holy shit! Like, like it goes from really exploratory questioning, right? Like, okay, I think that this character is doing this. Now don't tell me, but I think that this, and then he'll talk about like this really overarching plot that you may or may not have in mind. But once again, he sounds so regular, but it's like, God, dude, like did he like read my manuscripts?
That's funny. That's like, is this insider knowledge or is this
Right,
just literary analysis?
I don't know, man. I just
From
be like
day
that.
one, he like there was a man. So Moffs had, before YouTube hated on him, he
Yeah.
already had a fair amount of Thrash reviews,
Oh yeah,
and
I remember that.
those reviews, all the questions,
Yup.
literally, like he doesn't like, and we got to get you back, bro. We got to get you back to how you were doing the questions last time, because like, bro, like he was asking literally very good questions. And I just wanted to jump onto the YouTube, like, yeah, boy, this is like, this is like blah blah blah, but I don't want to expose myself, So,
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yo, I want to talk about this, but wait, it's like all spoilers,
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
spoilers.
I mean,
Exactly.
when Myndfury was watching my stuff, I didn't even know about it.
Oh, bro.
Like
Yeah,
he even commented on my videos, and I was like, damn, thanks.
That's
like
so funny.
this guy, okay, all right.
Because like I just didn't realize, I didn't connect the dots.
That's great. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like I just didn't expect any of y'all to find my stuff.
Hey, well, we're here now, man.
Yeah.
We're here now.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I'll blame this on my friend Hams, because like he got me here. So even if he wants to like deny it.
Props to the plug.
Yes, sir, bro. Like,
Absolutely,
always got to plug
absolutely.
homie, man. But yeah.
Oh, bro. Oh, you just hit a milestone recently, bro.
Oh yeah, I hit 1K. Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
go.
congratulations.
Yeah, I did like
Let's go.
I did like, so much more in like 10 months than I did on my previous channel.
Yo.
When YouTube hated on me and shit.
Yeah, man, that sucked. Like, seriously, like
Mhm.
I do go back to your reviews and see if I am answering certain questions that you have previously.
Yeah.
And then when YouTube took it down, I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little lost. I was like, well, how am I gonna proceed with the plot here? I don't know if
Yeah.
That's when he hired me.
Who am I supposed to go to now?
Right. Like, look, Sean had these questions, bro. We gotta make sure we answer these fucking questions. Like, yeah, what about the plot? Fuck the plot. We gotta answer these fucking questions, bro.
Yeah.
His questions are better than any outline you can go on.
There are certain parts, not even certain. There's a lot of parts that I have in Thrash that I write because of what you say. It's funny though. It's like, yo, like, I wonder how Moss is gonna react to this. Let's put this in here.
That's amazing. I mean, for sure, in that case, right? I mean, if we're being real, that the amount of I suppose power that sort of like literary critique and analysis has, if it's so on point that you're getting the creator themselves to like consider aspects of the story that are evocative and things like that, that's like so huge, right? That just
Yes,
speaks
sir.
to the power of really understanding and relating to a story. And I think that's like what brings it all together. That's what makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
Hey, Eli, I'm telling you right now, he doesn't know any of that shit. All that shit that you just said, he's sitting on that power right now. He's just like, what? Whatever, bro.
Yo, my man is a dragon, bro. It doesn't even matter that like I'm using these big like literary like concepts and stuff like that, but my man's just like, yo, what about this? And everyone's like, let's go. Like that's it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I know last time I left you hanging, Myndfury.
I hated that. I hated you for that.
I just was like, I asking no questions. I ain't asking nothing. I ain't saying nothing.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he killed me. Dude, I DM'd him. I was like, bro, look, you're killing me, bro. What the
I hate you.
I hate you.
That's so funny.
But yeah, I do have some things, I have that I written down, just to tell you, I guess.
Let's go.
Well, basically, obviously, Toshiro is clearly 13's dad. I could see it. And that it's interesting to me that, like, with, like, the rumors, how you had, like, it was, like, all the Mad King trying to challenge the gods. That's literally what 13 ended up doing anyway.
Yeah?
Like, I noticed that. I was like, now that you think about it, he did it anyways. He's doing what his dad wanted, technically, if he actually wanted that, And, Soikon's technically his birthright, so. Now I think about that, yeah, that's pretty interesting. And I'm still curious on what you're doing about, you know, the crazy top tier gods. I haven't seen much, man. I'm waiting.
Oh man,
Cause
there is
yeah, there's a
going to be a
bunch.
huge, yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm waiting for, you know, what you're gonna do with like Christianity's God, because like that God is supposed to be untouchable, and how you're gonna get that in the story somehow.
Oh, I mean who man, without revealing too much. So
Yeah.
of course I gotta handle that really
Mm-hmm.
uh very sensitively
Yeah.
and make sure that everything is respectable and everything like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like I'm
Cause
still not even done with the elder gods, right?
yeah.
And those the rest of those gods have to be introduced, and we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
like active religions like Shiva was the
Yeah.
elder god, and
Ender.
which I'm not quite done with them. And
Yeah.
then Ender being the elder god, and Ender is probably one of the only thus far original gods that I came up with myself.
Yeah.
Not Ender isn't necessarily based on any one thing. However, um, I don't know if you saw the parts of the latest chapters, but
Yeah. I need to get to
he's
that.
connected. It's all right when you get to it, it's
Yeah.
okay. But there are connections
Mm.
to other gods, other
Okay.
known gods,
Okay.
well within Ender. So
Yeah.
there's that. But going back to your question, I think handling Christianity
Yeah.
will be very sensitive and putting a lot of respect on it, but at the same time exposing a lot of the nuances with Christianity.
Yeah.
As with all the gods, exposing how petty and how violent and macabre the Greek gods were. I mean, I know you saw freaking Aphrodite's shrine to
Yup.
beauty, right? And it's like a whole bunch of dead women that she just
Mm-hmm.
broke up and made a tree out of. And it's like,
Yup.
yo, what the? And she's like, no, don't worry, I only got the pretty ones. It's okay, It's like, yo, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yo, but I mean that's her thing, and it's in the thing is I like to use the phrase the finite cannot understand the infinite, and it's
Mm.
vice versa with that. The infinite can't understand the finite. So her just making a tree out of pretty women was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I do that. I does this. It's fine. It's okay. They're beautiful women. Look at it. It's okay. And to one, it's like, bro, this is horrible. Like this is
Yeah, I
not
mean,
good.
kind of dead,
Right. But,
I would
no,
understand if they're alive, but they're kind of dead.
right. And it's like all kind of goes back to how they view life and how they view humanity and mortality.
Yeah.
And why would they care about mortality uh, amongst beings that live forever?
Mm-hmm.
Mortality's probably lost all its meaning, and it's like, well, how do they treat that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Exactly. And as well, on that note that you mentioned, Moths, about 13, his father, and the sort of like fate, that like ironic fate of that situation. I think something that Myndfury, honestly, from what I can tell, does really like honestly subconsciously, is that we're taking from these the stories, these creation myths, these concepts in like religion and like very early stories like the Odyssey and things like that, where that's the dramatic irony of it all, right? He ended up falling into this sort of dramatically ironic situation, and you question, is it fate? Is it in their blood? Is it by circumstance and everything like that? Just like your most popular and your most obscure creation myths will always do. It's kind of something that's embedded in not only this genre, but human storytelling since the beginning. And I think that I think Thrash does an awesome job, just even in the littlest things like that, of reflecting like homage to that kind of storytelling.
Yeah.
Like original humans sitting around a fire, coming up with the idea of how did this come about? There must be some person as to why, like, this volcano is right there and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And when we make this grandiose tale about it, this like epic like fight scenes and everything like that, we're making sure to tie in those concepts, the like very human side of storytelling.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I'm also, curious about your hierarchy of gods there, in your story, because
Now
like, yeah. I mean, you go ahead. You go ahead. I'll let you talk.
oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. You were gonna say
Because I'm curious, because like you touch upon, like obviously, the most like casual gods pretty much. I'm curious about, where you're gonna like how they're higher, like what's the the difference between this god and that god, besides obviously them being like categorized as like elder gods or whatever and shit.
right.
And I'm
right.
curious,
So,
obviously about like if you're gonna bring in like more like Brahmin or whatever how you pronounce him and stuff like that. Yeah, that like people like that, because like there's a lot of like layers here, and how I got
yeah,
Christianity's God, like mythologically wise or mythology wise, whatever, he's supposed to be above everything, all other gods and stuff. So it's like that's a curiosity of like if you're gonna make him, how you're gonna like present him and stuff like that. I'm curious about that.
right. Yeah. So, just to kind of recap, of course, we have a hierarchy of gods,
Mm-hmm.
right? And most of the gods that we've seen, aside from Shiva, have been just common gods, and these gods are, uh, god of elements. So we can call
Mm-hmm.
them elemental gods, but the god of fire, the goddess of the hearth, the
Yeah.
god of lightning, and stuff like that. Very earthly based gods, and it
Ooh.
all has to do with authority,
Mm-hmm.
right? So think of it as the legal system,
Mm-hmm.
and you have cops who have a jurisdiction in certain localities,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the feds who are federal. They can go from a whole bunch of different jurisdictions and do their jobs there, and then you have like the CIA who are like kind of international,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of where this train of thought comes from, because it kind of uh, uh, stems from pre-existing things that we were already knowing of. So
Yeah.
with the common gods, they are, wherever they're at is where they're in control of and what they're in control of. If they're the god of fire, they control fire where they're at. It doesn't extend past anything outside of themselves, right?
Mm.
um Now we have the only thing below them would be like demigods, but those are like gods that aren't divine yet. They have powers, they have like a whole
Yeah,
bunch of
like
stuff or
Thor.
whatever.
So.
Right, yeah, like Thor and everything. But they don't have the divinity, that divine right
Mm-hmm.
to be an authority of anything.
Yeah.
So they're still kind of mortal, even though they're super high powered and shit like that, right? Then we have outside of that, we have the elder gods. Now, um, elder gods are a tad bit different. Uh, they have a greater purpose,
Mm-hmm.
where they represent a portion of of um, of a concept that's greater than us.
Mm.
Let's take Shiva. Shiva is Shiva and Ender. Okay, those two elder gods, right? Which of course they have a higher authority than the gods below them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shiva is straight up a god of destruction, right? Um, but then he also has multiple commands: music, fighting, um, dancing, light, songs, stuff like that. He has multiple commands. And the thing that makes him an elder is that the concept behind Shiva is duality,
Mm.
where somebody can be completely wrong, but completely justified at the same time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they can be a living contradiction. And we have a lot of people that are living contradictions, right? Like I mean, I
Yeah.
can name a few right off top, but I mean, I just like let's say like Kanye. Kanye can exist in a world where people are calling him a genius and people are calling him a dumbass, all in the same sentence.
Yup.
And it's, but that's a living contradiction. You know, he says things and he says things that are
Questionable
like
things,
considered
you know.
whatever. Yeah, it's questionable. And at the same time, you cannot deny that his impact on the music medium was no less revolutionary. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you can these people can exist in that same world, and Shiva represents that. We're
Mm-hmm.
slightly getting into Ender's, even though Ender kind of made it plain in I think episode 14 when he's talking to Shiva, but his thing is nihilism, and but it's nihilism has an indiscriminate trait to it where nothing is of importance, nothing matters in the end because
Mm-hmm.
everything must end at some point, you know. um and in the grand scheme of things, nothing matters to death, and it makes sense because he's out there. He's the one that's ending everything, you know, hence Ender,
Yeah.
but he's the end of all things. And it's not just of human life, but of everything, every concept, every gift, every thought, everything ends with him. uh your memories fade, your discipline and your vitality, your everything,
Mm-hmm.
it stops becoming after a while. And you know, it's because of Ender. And because of that, there's a nihilism uh that comes with that. But that's not to say that nihilism is a trait like duality, but it kind of is. It's a concept. And you'll see that once the other elder gods are introduced, which is actually very soon.
Okay.
um yeah, man,
Yeah.
because we left at a cliffhanger with Shiva, which I kind of hope people would forget, because I want the, you know, I want the reread value, man. That's the thing, bro. Like I want to progress so far until we forget, and then it's like, and we're back, and you're like, yo, wait, what? And now you have to reread. You know. But with the elder gods, each of them have some simplistic or even deeper purpose or concept outside of their uh their power,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'll give one away right now. So
Okay.
are you familiar with the Egyptian gods?
Some probably can get it
There's
though.
Okay, okay. There's one with the head of an ibis. I think that's what that bird is called.
Mm.
And the elder god is Thoth, and
Oh, okay.
basically the Egyptian god of knowledge. And this god, of course, I mean, it's the concept is easy with him, is knowledge, right? And
Yeah.
he, you know, kind of records everything,
So
right?
so he's pretty much just omniscient. That's what you're saying to me?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
he is. He
That's
knows,
what I
he
thought.
knows all.
That's what I
And
thought.
right.
A
Now what
knowledge
he
based god,
does
yeah.
there, now what he does there, I can't say.
Okay.
But there are points where things make sense, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you're like, he will start to do things, and you're like, wait a minute, this is kind of cold, this is messed up. And it's because absolute knowledge sometimes can be very cold.
I
And
mean, yeah,
it's
he's doing something for something later, you know? Like that's how it usually works.
right. And he has a very, you know, fuck your feelings approach to it.
Yeah, he got to get something done for something to happen. So,
Absolutely. And so then uh going upwards in the hierarchy, we have the more primordial, which are chaos beings,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where we have creation gods, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, and that's kind of the realm where you would see like the Christian god, you know,
Yeah.
would be in that realm in a sense, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If it was Greek, you have like Kronos and Rhea. Maybe Nyx will be in there. Odin, gods like that, that. Well, maybe not Odin,
I
but
mean, 'cause I was gonna say, like, it hasn't Odin already showed up already?
no, not yet.
Oh, okay. Cause
So
like, what
Yeah,
one
not
thing I got it like one another question I have, like, before you continue with that,
yet.
is like, what if, like, back to like the common gods real quick, right? What if the gods control the same thing? Like, what if, like, a god could, like, another god from another mythology controls the same thing as another god? Will it affect each other, or is it just like whoever's the strongest out of the both of them gets the top part, gets the authority above? If it was like lightning, they get authority above it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that is kind of like more to the locality. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why gods don't go into other people's backyard, right? The
Yeah.
god of lightning, like Thor, won't go to Japan and start, messing with their lightning gods, you know.
Yeah, like, cause like that's what I was wondering. Cause it's like, if they're the god of this, that would technically interfere with the god of the same thing somewhere else.
Right, right, exactly.
Cause like there's
And
going to be a conflicting god anywhere in these mythologies.
right,
So like that's the problem. Like, you need to, like, that I need to, understand how you're gonna deal with.
yeah, yeah, no worries. So you have, let's use Thor and the lightning god for Japanese Shinto religion is Raijin.
Mm-hmm.
So or Kaminari-sama. So you have Raijin and Thor in the same area. So they would both be able to use lightning, regardless of whether they were, around each other or not. So let's say it was like a specific lightning, like they couldn't kill each other with their lightning, you
Yeah.
know. Um, that would depend on, like, it's like form follows function. So if some way they can change the property of that lightning to be something different, like this lightning, when it strikes you, it eats your soul or something like that. That property is not lightning. Lightning does not eat your soul. But if they can change the property of it, then the favor goes to, that person, right? Or let's say if with Thor, he can channel that lightning through his hammer,
Yeah.
so then it becomes less about what they control and what authority they have over said substance, and how it becomes more how do they use it, you
Okay.
know. So if Raijin is just like, all I do is lightning, that's it, and I don't have a weapon or a conduit or something like that,
Yeah.
then Thor all the live long day is gonna beat the shit out of him with his hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And any lightning he throws at Thor will be absorbed through the hammer, and which once again he's beating the shit out of him with.
Yeah.
So it's different. Now, who has more authority over said substance? That does depend on the strength of the god, right? And
Okay.
even gods can get stronger if the more that they, just like with anything else, the more that they've practiced with it, the longer lived that god is. You
Yeah.
know, there are such things as new gods, like
Yeah.
gods that just became gods, and they just haven't been around for that long, you know. And of course, a newer god would probably fall to a more experienced veteran god or something like that. That is powerful, but hasn't quite made elder god status yet. So it works a lot like that.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
All right. Cause I was like wondering, like, I was like under the assumption that like the guys that we're seeing are probably just like the strongest in their field. That's why they're here. That's what I was assuming. Cause like that's why we're focusing on like a single mythology, you know, or a single like set of like gods, because like okay, it makes sense. Because like that they're strongest, right? Like that's what I was assuming the entire time.
Yeah, no, we are definitely going to dive a little bit deeper. It's just of course we need to introduce
Okay.
all the players
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, I got you. Because like there's gonna be like honestly, there's gonna be some you can't even put in there. There's
Yeah,
too
man.
many. There's literally too many.
There's
Cause
way too many.
yeah, there's like because you haven't even touched upon, you know, like literally any of the Japanese gods. The
Mhm.
like obviously you told me about, you know, the one Egyptian god. Because it's like, yeah, what are you gonna do with like, I don't know, Ra? What are you gonna do with, I don't know, Set?
Right.
Everybody pretty much. What are you gonna do with them?
Yeah,
What are you gonna do with like the Norse, other Greek, whatever gods? You know,
Right,
because like some of them
right.
literally just have no reason to be there. You know, some of
Yeah,
them
no,
do.
agreed. So yeah, and a lot of the different gods have, different motivations. They don't need to be there. They all don't need to be these. Oh, I'm a god. I'm gonna destroy. Nah, I mean, not all of them even think like that. Like
Yeah.
even the Greek gods, they all have different motivations. You know,
Mhm.
you read with with Zeus, and he kind of doesn't want to be there. He's just like, let's go home, bro.
Like this is just
But
boring.
right. But the thing about that is, you make the connection, and they left not because they want to take over and rule the people of Earth, but they're trying to escape the Godfall.
Yeah, of course the Godfall's a woman too, bro. Of course. Of course. I know I said that when in the reaction, of
Oh,
course.
no.
Of
Yeah,
course.
get canceled.
No, I mean like it just like makes sense, bro.
You're gonna have to explain yourself. How does this make sense, Sean?
It makes sense because women, man.
Who's interviewing you?
You putting me on the spot here, bro. You put
With
it on...
Freudian logic and shit. He's like, well, of course.
Well, I mean, it just be like that, I mean, in Christianity, the guy wasn't the one who ate the apple. I'm sorry. So, or well, technically not apple. It was like some other fruit, but whatever.
Right. It was the fruit, right?
Yeah. So, like, it wasn't the guy. That's all I gotta
Well,
say.
the reason why I made the Godfall a woman, mainly because I mean I have a high respect for women.
As do I.
Because
But
they...
Oh, no.
it makes
Oh,
sense.
no.
Ah,
Women
yo,
are killers, man. Women can be killers too.
I will say that men and women, especially back then, had to conquer in different ways. Now, that's not to say that there's not women out there. In fact, me and Eli are in talks of another series.
Okay.
Having a woman as a main character.
Bro.
Yeah. But anywho, and actually, it's dope
Yeah.
as hell, and it's
Okay.
based off of actual, like, this person actually did this shit. But
Okay.
bypass that really quick. This never happened.
It's recorded, but never happened.
Never happened. No, but well, the thing about it is, men and women can play very different games with the same goal in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, whereas men tend to be very direct and hurt each other. Like if me and Eli have a problem with each other, I see him at a bar and I'm like, "Hey, what the fuck?" And then, Eli says, "What the fuck?" And then we're beating each other up.
Who'd
And then
win in
after
a
that-
fight,
Right,
Myndfury or
exactly.
Eli?
I've seen Eli in person. He looks pretty built, man. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Yo,
Like,
Eli, would you be
Oh,
able to
I don't
beat
know, I don't
Myndfury
know.
in a fight, bro?
I don't. I hope I never have to find out.
What do you scale yourself in a fight?
Like on like a D to S tier sort of thing.
Sure, go ahead.
We'll say we'll go with the like. I would put Myndfury at like an S tier, and I'd put myself at like a high A tier.
So that means you'll probably beat him up.
Right.
Let me be humble real quick.
It depends on if I have the jump on him. That's
There you go.
You gonna sneak?
yeah, we got the sneak skill level.
You gotta sneak Myndfury.
Yeah.
All right, interesting.
Yeah.
But
So
I think men and women play very different games,
Which I
and
agree.
with the same goals in mind. Men are very direct. They beat each other up, and that the might makes right with that. But
Mm-hmm.
I find women to be more tactical, and they
True.
hit you where it hurts. Like I
Yeah.
I may not be
Yeah.
able to beat you up, but I can still make you hurt in some way. And like there's very prominent characters that fight like that. Cersei Lannister from Game of
yes.
Thrones is like that. Cersei isn't about like a lot of the men were like, yo, sword fight, and then they're doing the thing, the melee weapon, and
Mm-hmm.
cutting each other to ribbons. Whereas and they lose, right? But then from that came what? You see
Mm-hmm.
Robb Stark, who was winning, right? He was winning each and every single battle and still lost.
Damn.
For sure.
Right,
Not
right.
gonna
And
lie,
And
and
haven't even. I've watched like 2 episodes of Game of Thrones.
you're not gonna the roller coaster really doesn't start until like maybe 8. I would even say 6 or 7 episodes
Okay.
in.
Well, I mean,
there's a lot of
I
build up.
I watched
Yeah,
two
there's a lot of
episodes
build
in,
up.
saw incest, and I left.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's a lot of people are like,
Yeah.
nope, not doing this.
Yep.
The story is very unafraid.
Yeah, I know. I
to-
see. Like, I mean, like they literally, incest kicked the kid out of a tower, and then
Oh man.
For sure.
that's where I got, and I was like, well, bye.
Yeah, it's pretty yikes sometimes. But more on that point of um how male and female. Okay, this is gonna sound really weird, but it kind of historically, if we look at the gender like aspects of like I don't know, tactics or combat, not even in those terms, like people at the time, like especially in the period of Game of Thrones, or at least the time period that it was inspired from, and George R. R. Martin does a lot of research. Like I think today a lot of people would say tactics such as assassination and poison are cowardly, but at the time they didn't think of it as such. It was called womanly, and not a negative or a positive, like aspect, right? That's not saying it like women are cowards. That's not what that categorization is saying. There's this
Mhm.
social idea at the time that like this is a scary threat, and this is something that is typical of this womanly quote unquote tactic, and that's not at all a bad thing or a cowardly thing. It is
Right.
scary. It
Yeah.
is something that you should think about. And
Right.
Like
right.
I
'Cause
said, women can
you'll
be
never see
killers
it coming.
too. Women can be killers too. I said
Right,
that. I
right.
said that.
And women have a way of rationalizing it beyond a man's capability to. I mean, you've argued with women before, and it's really hard. I'm not gonna lie. You have to be on your P's and Q's, have like cited quotes and
Receipts.
receipts. Oh my God, the receipts.
They
You have to
remember
have
too much, bro.
well, yeah, and it's because their minds are different. I think the what is it? I forgot what I was listening to. I think it was like it was either a comedian that quoted a series or something of a study on how men and women's brains work, and it's like men are like waffles, right? Where we compartmentalize everything. You pour the sauce, and each part of the little square of the waffle gets filled with the sauce equally, right? Or with the syrup evenly. Whereas women are like spaghetti. You pour the sauce and it gets everywhere, and it's just wired differently.
Uh-huh.
The sauce touches everything, and kind of women are able to think touching on everything, and like it coins a phrase. I'm sorry, not coins, but it reminds me of the phrase. Men worry about the destination, whereas men worry about the destination, whereas women worry about the journey.
Mm-hmm.
and we're just trying to get there. It's like, hey, I just want to go to Disneyland. Let's get to Disneyland. That's all we're worried about. Whereas, women are like, well, what's the weather like? What are we wearing? Do we have enough there? Do we have it in budget? Can we stop off at some place to eat? Where are we resting? Do we have, and are there stops along the way? How long to
Yeah.
be comfortable? And all of that jazz. And I think attributing all of that to Godfall, I think works, because Godfall can think on more than I'm stronger than you, therefore I win. And no, there's a systematic approach to what she's doing, which is why gods like Ender support her.
Okay.
It's not necessarily because, oh, um like the Ender, like, she's not following Ender. Ender's following her, and there's a reason. And there's I there's a clue that's left in their conversation that will be expounded later.
Mm.
But there's something about what she said that only somebody with vision can do what I'm doing. There's a reason why all of this is happening.
Mm.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, man, yeah.
Okay.
Ender is definitely unassuming,
Yeah.
but a very scornful. I can't even say scornful woman. Just a being that you cannot help to support, because there's even in Ender's explanation, ties into why the Godfall is happening. Ender's like, hey, we have these people on, in the mortal realm, these people that are rich, but they're murderous, and they're horrible people, yet they are allowed to live forever. And the poor people are the ones that are suffering because of lack of whatever, and all of that. And he's using that analogy for the gods themselves. And it's like, well, we should be capable of dying as well. Should we not try to understand what they go through? Because how is the finite going to understand the infinite, or well, vice versa in their case would be the infinite understanding the finite, if we aren't allotted that same structure of death?
Yeah.
That should be even across the board.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
and
Okay.
there you'll understand. He's like, I think he even says, I'm with them at the end. I'm there. I'm
Mm-hmm.
as they are dying, writhing in pain. I have a front row seat. I'm just like, there, yo, hey man, you suffering than a mug. That's crazy.
Yeah.
and and in order, once again, who better to understand humanity in at least that sense than death?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I-
without going too much more into.
Yeah, I got one more thing to ask. This is also like a broad question. Have you read Instant Death? Like it's like an isekai, because like
No,
it's
I have
very
not.
it's very similar to what Ender is,
No, I
because
have not at all.
because the character from there, his name's Yogiri Takata or whatever, and he's the end. Like he's literally what Ender is. He
No.
basically is like, if you die, I'm there when you die. I'm
Mhm.
literally the thing I'm at the end of everything. Like that's his whole
Yes,
existence.
sir.
So it's like, I'm like interested, because like that's literally, has you read this bit before? Like this is kind of like what he is.
Oh no, I mean, but it's funny. The concept of the end is, man, dang, it dates back to,
Yeah.
like, it's forever ago. Like, so, um let's go to science, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson spoke on
Ah.
this.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, you know, NDT, and before the Christian religion started, like, coming about, people just figured that the Earth was in the center of everything, and
Yeah.
life was just this realm of infinity,
Yeah.
you know, and that was it. That's the concept. It's infinite. There's we get reincarnated, we come back, and then all this other jazz. And Christianity is very linear, where there's a beginning and then there's an end, and then that's pretty much it's not. Oh, and then you come back to Earth and then you start to try all over again, or any. No, that is it. You
Yeah.
know, and you get one shot at this and don't fuck up, and it's very linear, and that concept was thought to be brand new, but that term that thought, that type of concept where there's a beginning and an end, spurred the Big Bang Theory, where there was a definite beginning to our universe, and by some type of unknown cataclysm, there will be an end. And there's scientific explanations for ending called entropy. And I don't know if you look at the titles for THRASH, but each of those titles has something to do with the end of something.
Mm.
It's yeah, except the War of One. Well, no, that actually does have a lot to do with ending things. It's just a war of attrition.
Bro, chapter 1 is literally just entropy.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now.
yeah.
To accentuate that point a little bit too, I'm fairly certain, though we'll have to look it up just to confirm this right after I say this, that the concept of a Big Bang Theory was pioneered by a scientist who was
Religious.
Christian. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
kind of as a way to show a scientific explanation for the Genesis sort of creation.
Yeah, I think he was a Frenchman too, I think. But yeah, bro, like the thing about this is the finite and the infinite, the case in point, religion and science, whereas people say they're separate and they're not the same. There are a lot of parallels with science and religion. There's some of the concepts that spurred scientific discovery were religious in nature at some points, So I mean, it's like the whole transporting from one spot to another, being two places at the same time, being omniscient and or omnipresent,
Yeah.
all of that, AI, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Whereas, it is very scientific and sci-fi heavy. You can attribute that frame of thought to some sort of religious or mythological desire or term of logic.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, man, we gets deep over here, man.
And as well, I would like to confirm that we are correct, that the person who came up with the Big Bang Theory, his name is Georges Lemaitre,
Yep.
Mm.
and he was a Belgian Catholic priest as well as a theoretical physicist.
Interesting.
Kinda-
See, we
Interesting
do research
combo.
here.
Interesting
We
combo, bro.
research.
Yeah, you can.
I feel
you
like
can
that should be a
sure that if I'm around,
conflicting.
research will be done.
Yeah, I feel like that
Oh,
should be a
yeah.
conflicting job, like an occupation.
Oh, right.
Like
Yeah,
that should be
yeah.
very contradicting of himself.
True.
But I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, you would
in a
think
way,
so.
that's kind of a recent notion too. Actually, in a way,
Mhm.
this idea of science versus religion. For a long time, it was like institutions such as for example, during the basically before the Renaissance, when the big pop in place of scientific progress in the world was Islam, like early Islam.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And during a lot of the quote unquote dark ages, the reason why people don't want to call them the dark ages anymore is because if you look into it, a lot of the knowledge preservation of literature and scientific progress was made by um, European Catholic institutions.
Yeah.
For example, we talk about like genes, and that's like one of the most important topics in science nowadays.
Mhm.
Mangela, I believe, the
Mhm.
person who was experimenting with the peas that you learn in like science class, he was a
Yeah, yeah,
Catholic
yeah.
friar, a
Interesting.
monk, a literal monk. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's I mean, religious people have I mean, even so I'm African American, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of, like, especially nowadays, you know, Christianity gets a lot of you know, hey, how can you be a Christian, and that's like the religion of the oppressor,
Mhm.
and which is odd because one, there's not a lot of Caucasians in the Bible at all.
Yeah.
You know,
I
there's
mean,
maybe
Jesus
one.
himself isn't even white technically.
Right, he's
No,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, like
Jesus is
Jesus
not
isn't
white,
white.
right?
we just
but
everyone now just believes him as white, which is kind of weird.
right,
They
right.
see the
But then
paintings and then they realize that it's from Renaissance when
right,
everyone was white and drew.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Constantine when he promoted religion and everything. But then the thing about it is a lot of the freedom fighters that African Americans looked to were religious, were God fearing people. Harriet Tubman was said to see visions from God. Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass, and then to go, you know, even a little bit further with Nat Turner, who raised probably the hugest slave revolt ever. Like, people were scared of Nat Turner. He was a pastor.
Mhm.
Um, Martin Luther King was a religious figure, and Malcolm X was a religious figure. You know,
Yeah.
so different approaches, very different approaches. But there's something to say about religion that it can be it can be good and it can be used for bad. And to like
Yeah.
flip this back to anime, I think Full Metal Alchemist, which I
Oh
want to
yes,
say, like,
sir.
it talks about this heavily,
Mhm.
is it speaks on the how science mimics religion, and vice versa. You know how things can be explained away with science, but there's a very cold nature to it. A lot of people that grip so tightly to alchemy and Full Metal Alchemist were very cold. What's the guy with the explosives? I forgot his name.
Oh.
Kim Lee.
Mhm.
Kim Lee.
Mhm.
Yeah, how he saw people as just a product for his alchemy, which, in objectively, yeah, they can be made into a bomb, and he's like, yeah, I'm just exploding their asses. I mean, come on. Or even Shao Tucker, who
Ew.
wanted to, yeah, we hate that guy, we hate him, boo.
Yes.
But
Yes.
he is definitely of the Oppenheimer, who created the atomic bomb.
Mhm.
And um uh funny, Oppenheimer, whose quote that I use in Thrash, I created Death the Destroyer. um Shao Tucker did what he did in the name of science. It wasn't for, like, you know, like, science validated him, and him being a state alchemist validated him. So he was willing to risk his own daughter and wife
Yeah.
and dog,
Ew.
and did the most grotesque thing, right? And he explains it away. Hey, you know, you're not too different from me. You know, you're doing this for the
Yeah.
you changed your brother. You know, now he's like a walking tin can, and it's for the sake of science and shit. And everybody's looking at you like, oh my god, he's so special. You're a genius.
Yeah.
How am I so different? Now you
Yeah.
know you can make a chimera, and they used it. The
They did.
military used it. They're like, oh, you should be put to death. But thanks for the knowledge, bro. This is you
Yeah.
Exactly.
know. And then the reverse of that is Scar, who explains things away with the teachings of Ishvala. and it's like, yeah, this is alchemy is an abomination against God, yet he's using it. He's like, I'm doing God's work. What?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there
So
just
it's
isn't a power to like oppress it or whatever. So
right, exactly. And it's the a very Jaegerist right approach where,
yes, sir.
hey, I am going to kill these people, and I'm going to free us from oppression, no matter who gets killed. Let's go. Because I mean, let's be honest, Ed and Al were children, and Scar was like, "Hey, you state alchemist?" And they're like, not right now, but we'll be later. Okay, I'll kill you later."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't care. Scar didn't care. Women, children, he didn't give a fuck.
Exactly. And such a cool thing that Full Metal Alchemist dives into is this concept that in the big difference tangibly between religion and science is that religion has this sort of two aspects to it. It has this metaphysical aspect that's trying to explain why the universe is how it is, why the world is how it is, how the world came into being. And then it has, and science as well touches upon that. I mean, it's completely about that, about the world, the laws. In Full Metal Alchemist, alchemy and alchemy and everything like that. The
Right.
actual ways that you can manipulate the world around you to do something greater than the common man can, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But religion, in addition to that, has the moral prescriptiveness.
Right.
How
right.
should you live? And Full Metal Alchemist tackles both aspects where they conflict with the people who don't care for the metaphysical aspect and only care about the moral code.
Right.
What do people look like when they drop the moral code? What do people look like when they drop this scientific aspect of religion? And what do people look like who think that they have no business with each other? And it's such a cool part because it the big overarching theme of Full Metal Alchemist is crutching on ideas like science and religion,
Yeah.
and centering your life around those and using those as a way to put away your heart, such that these things in the world can do the job of your heart for you.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point, because it's like that's your crutch. The devil made me do it, and it's like,
Exactly.
nah, bro. Like, you are in fact evil because you did A, B, and C. Nah, man, nah.
Yeah, and the whole idea and the reason why everyone loves Fullmetal Alchemist so much, and how touching it is at the end, like it's always the number one anime.
Yeah, man.
It's always people's favorite ending, favorite shonen, because at the end you realize that the like Ed and Al have gone through this journey of bouncing between so many of these crutches, fighting like everyone who are so far gone one way or the other that they have no choice and no way to come to grips with their adventure than to say that it was their heart that led them through it, and that's what toughens them. That's what makes them grow. That's what gives them a heart full metal, right? It's so eloquent. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, Fullmetal Alchemist is goated, man.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
good,
I
so
agree.
good.
I agree. Yo.
Refer it everywhere. Use
Yes.
it as a guide for everything.
Right, bro.
It's like Avatar: The Last Airbender for like for all that matters,
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yo, Eli, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How is working on rewrite? Cause my reaction of it was kind of
Oh.
Feel free. Toss anything at me. I want to hear it.
I was reading it. I streamed it obviously, and is there a reason like that this works, or that whatever happens? Is there a reason for it? Because
specifically him finding the glasses, or what the glasses do, or
because it just feels like when I was reading it that it just works because.
I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing about rewrite is that in the center of the story, if we kind of I think that when essentially, I just want to say that like Kane is a fantastic, amazing person, and
Uh-huh.
like I love working with him
Yeah.
on
Uh-huh.
rewrite.
Yo,
And
he's softening the blow. He's softening the blow.
No, I'm not softening anything. Dude, if you're listening, essentially, what I'm about to say is that he gives me a lot of creative freedom to go like deep into these concepts and specifically themes of
Mhm.
how like time and fate affect everything.
Yeah.
And what you could do if you had the privilege to see behind it and everything
Yeah.
like that. And
Let's go.
I want to say that the direction that Rewrite is going, I would preface by saying if you're looking for a story that's about systems, that's about
Mhm.
explaining and justifying why and how all of these systems works and then manipulating that,
Uh-huh.
I would say that like I would treat Rewrite's time system as, even though it's time, in a lot of ways it's soft magic, if you could think about it that way.
Soft
Of
magic.
course, while there are rules of time, and while there are especially the laws that he ends up coming up with and using to try to change the past and the present and the future, etc.
Okay.
You're basically right that it happens because, but that's part of the premise. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
like, no, we're not going to get like Steins Gate, right? We're not going to go into the science.
Yeah.
And we're not going to go into the
Interesting.
like scarcity of it all. We're essentially what we're exploring is the rest of that. The
Yeah.
memory, the emotion, the life, how it affects other people, and how it affects the mental of the person. Going back and seeing all these things that a real person can only take so much of. Can
Yeah.
only have lived once.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, yes, it just happened just because. But,
Okay.
but we're using the good faith
Uh-huh.
of you accepting, yeah, this is part of the premise. To
Yeah.
talk about some really important things, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, you know, my other I think this was actually just a complaint is who decided on that hair for MC? Who decided that?
I'm not gonna.
Who decided that?
I will put it like this: someone who wants to be able to replicate them. Mhm.
Has cosplay value.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah. I know. I was just like, no, this ain't it. I was
That's
like, if you watch that video, you'll probably like honestly, the stream with the Voice Me series is kind of me just complaining about stuff.
No, that is completely fair, sir.
You should see
yeah.
his tier listing.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
saw.
Hey,
Literally,
let's go.
It's complaining about both. And it's great. It's
It's actually so good. I'm not gonna lie. When I watched the tier list, when you and Sith did, what I did was like, okay, which one of these do I work on? And then timestamp. And then I was like, yeah, no, I get that. I feel that.
yeah, man.
It's so funny because like from the side of like creating it and stuff like that, the things that you're just like, I think yeah, like if you want to do that, sure, let's do that. Like just like small things like that are the ones that stand out in people's minds so much. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like the hair
Right.
thing. When I'm writing Rewrite, I'm just like, yeah, their hair looks like that. And I make a joke about it actually later in the series, where it's like, I mean, okay, obviously the mom has the same hair, but it has to be dye, right?
I'm like, yeah, like there's like how
It
how
has
does
to be
this
dye.
like transfer? I think
Yeah.
one of the things I said is it's like the same thing as like, yo, this is like how people think like tattoos transfer to their child.
Yeah, exactly. Like it has to be hair dye. How does
it
the
work?
mom have the exact? It's the ends too. It's not even the roots.
Yeah, I know. It's like this doesn't make sense.
I know. That completely fair. So you got me.
Like I know, like
Yeah.
when I was streaming, it was just like me complaining about that, and you know, a little bit on the
so
Karma Collector. You know, a little bit.
Oh,
That-
bro.
I had a couple of things to say about Karma Collector.
I was wincing when. Okay, bro. Like so. Here's where I call bullshit. Okay,
Yeah.
so they gave Thrash, I would say, a top tier, but then like we got
Here, I'll just drop it. I'll
we
just
got
drop it in the
dethroned.
chat. I'll drop it in the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah, we got dethroned by CEO for unknown reason, right? And so right, right. And then Dylan, he has his own called Dylan, right? And I'm like, yo, like, come on, bro, like really, we're not going to go into CEO at all. Whatever, bro. Here's where I call a little
All
shenanigans
right.
happening. So
What do you guys say?
I don't know if you've seen, but Sith has done reviews of quite a few of our voice me works and everything, and
Mm.
he has some really good insights which he voiced none of in on Thrash. I was like,
Wow.
really, guys? You just go, no, it's top tier, it's top tier. And then don't think I didn't hear y'all talk that shit like, oh, well, Myndfury will say it's okay, it's me. I almost jumped through the screen so I could like punch an esophagus or something. But I was like, wait. I do sound like that, but you didn't have to put me on blast like that.
You're right, but you're not right.
Like, you're right, but I mean, just a little critique would be great. I'm just saying,
That's so
damn
funny.
it. No, here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the best things that Sitz brought up. And if you can look on his Instagram, he has like a little. I'll see if I can tag it, but he has little reviews that he would leave, and it was cool, you know. And then one of the reviews he left on Thrash was about some of the characters, and he's like, you know, some of the characters don't really hit for him, like Dane, right?
Yeah.
And Dane has, you know, been this really, here we go, yeah, let's go. Got it right here. Hold on.
I can see that. I can see that.
Oh man. So hold on. Let me read. Let me put this man on blast real quick, okay? Let me put
Let's
this
get him
man
back.
on blast.
Yo,
Alright,
get your gift back.
Man, let's go. So Sith gave the art quality a 9 out of 10, art style 9 out of 10, paneling 9.5 out of 10, right? Yo, Witcher. Okay, all right, cool. God tier art, action scenes, coloring, one of the main things that really stands out. Explosion of lights, colors, shadows, intense, exaggerated perspectives and angles. Art is usually fairly consistent all throughout. Let's see. I think the main critique, because that's what we're here for. The main critique could I could give the art is it being too much at times. There's, you know, less is more. So, you know, he wants to, you know, find efficient ways to do what we're doing. So let me just go with the story. The plot of Thrash has some pretty unique concepts. The Godfall, 13's motivations for wanting to become a god. Death's motivation, philosophy on why he wants the Godfall to happen. The lesser gods want to wipe out humanity just because they're pissed. The main problem with all this, though, is the structure and pacing with many of these ideas throughout the story.
Okay.
Mainly of them being with, now he said he pronounced the guy's name wrong, but it's Dane and the lesser gods. The whole time I'm just thinking, why is this relevant again? Like, I genuinely was confused for a time as to why we were spending so much time with this random character when the whole time could have been spent on 13. Now stop there, and I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Now, do you think that still holds up even now that you've read more? Because when this came out, it came out April of last year. So now that we've progressed quite a bit, do you think that critique still holds up?
I mean,
see, the interviewer has been interviewed.
I mean, there was, yeah, like, it's just like he really wasn't, you know. He just didn't feel, he just like was placed in, kind of a little bit. I kind of understand that. So it's like, it was just like, you know, like a time where, oh, we were just, you know, learning about Dane. That was really how I felt about it. And how I felt about how I feel about it now. It's just like, oh, Dane's here. Like, I feel like he's just like, you know, like he was kind of like, like an industry plant. That's how I feel about Dane. He's just an industry plant, bro. I'm sorry. Like, he was just planted into the story, just like right there. And then he apparently killed Ansong. I don't know. So that's how I feel about Dane so far. He just kind of showed up, you know. He cool, but yeah.
Okay. See, I think that's fair. Yeah, see y'all over there. Acting like he was above reproach.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of funny just in the circumstance of like it's talk show time. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I can definitely, I can see where you're coming from with that, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I don't feel like you like built up his character enough for him to just be like, you know, for him to get like that decent span of time with him in it, you know? Because like he just showed up. He just shows up. Obviously with Mommy Artemis, but like that's different. Yeah, but that's different, okay? But like,
I love how you have this like this relationship with Artemis, like even to the point where you will refuse looking and lusting over other women because you want to stay true to Artemis. Like, I commend that shit, bro. You're like, oh man, this one looks bad. Wait. You know,
yeah, bro.
True. You're like,
I'm a married man.
You're like reading CEO, and you're like, V? No, sorry, V is Artemis.
Like, nah, bro.
I'm just, yeah, it's like whatever, bro. I'm trying to see more Mommy Artemis, bro. That's all it is. That's why I got the poster, bro.
You see like a low cut shirt, and another like when comic, and you just hit page down, you know?
Whatever.
Like, nah, that's my girl,
man. Don't hit, sorry, but like, but yeah, like Dane just shows up, be like, we're gonna kill these people, we're gonna do this. Okay. Like,
I have a question for you, Mox. In that case,
okay.
How do you feel about like force of nature style character?
Okay.
I suppose like the classic example that I always talk about is from like No Country for Old Men, Anton Chigurh, or I suppose basically like characters who's like we're not at the moment at least trying to like humanize, right? Like not saying we're not ever going to do that for Dane or like at the moment or have, right? But like at least in terms of representation so far, this is like this is the man who represents this force, right?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about those characters in general?
I mean, I just feel like as long as they're cool, they're cool. That's how I view it, because like I'm just here to enjoy it, you know. I'm not here to like, you know, dig into it. Though Myndfury is like, but you do that.
It's true.
You'll be digging into it.
I be digging into it casually though. That's a problem.
Whatever, you sound casual, but like what you say is very thought provoking, my guy.
I guess.
Well, see, okay, whatever, dude, whatever. It's the Superman Clark Kent where he's like, guys, I'm Clark Kent. You see the glasses?
No.
I'm Clark Kent. As he cleans his glasses. Wait, no, that's Superman.
Wait, hold on.
What? Superman? What?
Oh yeah, I saw something about that recently. How like y'all will not be able to tell it's Superman. Like that like everyone's like, I mean, people like, so like you could tell Superman, you could tell. But it's like, can you really?
Yeah, no, there's some people that look totally different with their glasses.
The thing with like Clark Kent, he's like, he literally like changes, like, you know, like he his posture changes, like he obviously changes, like, you know, he wears like loose clothing, he looks weird, he looks just completely different.
Right.
It's just so slight enough where people wouldn't tell. People be like, oh, it's just Clark, compared to, oh, that's Soup. You know?
Right. Could you imagine living that life though? Like, you know,
like,
people just assume that you were just like this super regular schmegler dude, and then here comes the guy's like, oh my god, you're amazing. Then you have to lie and be like, No, boy, I'm regular. Come on, when you can break that man's whole body with like a hiccup or something.
Yeah,
Like I
I
can
don't
break
know.
you on
I couldn't
accident.
do it, bro. I couldn't do it. Like, I mean, like that's literally like the like it's kind of like the opposite for Spider-Man because it's like that's I fuck with Spider-Man. It's just like he's literally like, yeah, you don't like that's the thing with Superman. Like, you know what he looks like. He isn't hiding himself because he doesn't have to. And then there's just Spider-Man who, like, he needs his secret identity or his life's pretty much fucked. So
Right? Yeah. No, it's
Mhm.
true. It's true.
like I like
Yeah.
comparing them because like it's like compared to like a need to rather than like just wanting, because like Superman wants like a normal life, but like he can if he's Superman.
Have you
Right.
have you guys seen Kill Bill?
I haven't watched it yet, unfortunately.
Oh,
What?
okay. Well, I'll just
No, bro, there's a lot of
shit.
shit I haven't seen yet, bro. I need to watch
No,
it,
no,
bro.
no. I'm not gonna spoil it.
I'm talking about Myndfury. What?
Oh,
Wow.
well, you should.
Bro.
Kill Bill's good.
I know.
I've lost so much respect for you.
Oh no. So there's a little monologue that happens in Kill Bill, and I mean I can't give the whole thing. I don't have it off.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But,
that's fine.
You know, my man comes out and he's like, the interesting thing about Superman or about Clark Kent is that when like Superman is born Superman, but he changes his clothes, his appearance, puts on the glasses to look like Clark Kent, but he isn't human. He is an alien.
Yeah,
He is Superman. So
he wants that life.
yeah, and so Clark Kent is what Superman thinks people are like. That's his camouflage. So
Yeah.
he has to put on this costume and pretend like someone he's not. And I think is interesting to bring up because it's kind of in that way the opposite for Spider-Man is, right? Like
Yeah,
like
Mm.
Spider-Man is who Peter Parker thinks a superhero
should be. Yeah.
yeah, and whereas he is just Peter. He was born Peter Parker,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So I think that there's a really cool relationship there of all the different things you can go with this sort of secret identity.
That's
Yeah,
funny,
man.
Actually, it's like kind of cool though.
Yeah.
So real quick, back to Dane, real quick. There has been a lot more focus on Dane specifically in these last couple of arcs.
Yeah.
Right? Not arcs, but last couple of chapters,
Mhm.
and kind of solidifying who he is, why he's there, and his connection. Like, well, you named it off top. His connection with one
Yeah.
and the overall story.
Yeah.
But we have some man. I want to tell you so bad.
Kind of what I talked about in terms of humanization.
Yeah, bro. Because like Eli alluded to it. Like Dane is very much a force of nature,
Yeah.
and kind of like what you said. He comes in and he does his shit, and that's it.
then
It's like
popcorn
right. And I'm not gonna lie, I like characters like that. Joker is
Mhm.
very much that type of
Yeah.
character. Came out of fucking no, like Dark Knight was probably one of the most. It's not even like comic accurate, which is funny. It's not comic accurate
Still
at all.
good.
'cause-
No.
yeah, but still very, very fucking good.
Yeah.
And Heath Ledger's take on a very anarchist Joker is very political, yet it's true to nature, because here comes this dude that believes in disrupting the very modes of society by using society to kill itself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So because he Joker, yeah, he's killed people, of course,
Yeah.
but he used the cops and the mob and the DA of all people,
Yeah.
Harvey Dent, to kill themselves. And it's like, yeah. I mean, yeah, you have the people that are giving up. They want Batman out of here, so they're willing to give him up and everything. If somebody can name who Batman is, I'll give $1 million to. And then the very person that had that knowledge, what did he? He killed that person, which is funny as fuck, cause he's not doing it to out Batman. He's doing it to prove a point to Batman that this city is not worth saving. What the fuck are you doing, my guy?
Yeah.
You know, and kind of the same with Dane. You know, he comes in and he believes that gods aren't worth worshiping. You know, all the gods are flawed. Why the fuck would I worship you? You know, so he uses a lot of what they do to go up against Suicon, and then Suicon's kicking their ass. He's like, holy,
Yeah.
and, so, and then he's like, then he finds one. He's shit, one's here too. Oh man, I got something to, you know,
We
let's
got
find out.
problems. That's on site.
Right, it's on site, and a lot of, I guess I can reveal this, but a lot of his relationship with one has to do to confirm his biases on gods, right? Because he got fucked over with the god that he worshipped, Thor,
Yeah.
and Thor left him hanging as he was tortured and everything. Got out of it by his own means and shit without revealing too much, but he got out, right? He got out stronger. Um, and then somewhere in between him getting out and now, he meets one. And without really going into that relationship and what that means, um, it kind of set him on a course to destroy not just gods, but destroy the concept of them being better than us. You know,
You know,
and it,
I
it's
got
funny.
something to say.
One has that same outlook. If you look at the first interaction with with one and Ender, 13's talking about it, and he's like, why is your interaction with the Lord of Death so fucking casual? The first thing one says is, "Oh hey Ender, Lord Ender, didn't see you there." The fuck?
Yeah.
this cajillion mile tall entity, and you're like, "Oh yeah, didn't see you there."
Yep.
And then he comes and checks in on his star apprentice, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to, he's not telling him his true meaning." And one's like, "The fuck you are." So he he as he uh, um makes that pillar that he's lifting heavier and shit, almost breaking 13. He's like, "Okay, I showed you what I'm talking about. Now tell me what the fuck is going on." So one doesn't really have a respect for Ender like we would expect him to. He's really casual, really lax, which of course begs the question, why the fuck is he there, right? But the belief in these gods being not so high and mighty, him and Dane share. Except Dane is extremist with it. That's the really only difference here, you know?
Yeah.
Would you say Dane gave them a little push?
Oh, absolutely. Because you have the Godfall happening, which is proof, right? That the some well, it's proof that the gods are dying and may not be as omnipotent as we thought they were. But here comes Dane with an army of gods, pretending, "Oh yeah, we're gonna," because he's playing everybody. He's playing the gods, he's playing Suicon, um, he's playing the people involved, and the only person he genuinely believes in is 13 at this point. It's growing at this point, and so he's like, "Hey gods, the Godfall did all of this. The Godfall killed your brethren. Oh my God, Hermes, poor Hermes. Oh no." And then he then the gods are all mad, like, "Oh, let's march against Suicon." And they're like, "Okay, cool." So they're causing all this uproar. They're killing loads of people, and then of course Suicon's gonna respond. So he's like, let them respond. Let's go. Let's see what Suicon has. And then they have the Shido, and he's like, "Oh shit, this is what I wanted. Okay, let's see how you guys are gonna fight it out and everything." Because now it's finally, there's other people that believe that these gods aren't powerful, or else why develop an army, or not army, but a special sect of people, a vanguard, if you will, to combat against the gods, and it forces everyone's hands. Literally, nobody was prepared for anything except for Dane. And he's
Yeah.
pretty much the only one that was like, "No, let's jumpstart this shit. I don't give a fuck if you're ready." And that's kind of
Yeah.
what's happening. Yeah.
Interesting. I have gained a question, or two questions actually.
Let's go.
Is the Godfall a god or not?
Can I?
I mean, like, if you don't have to answer him. I'm just asking the question.
Well, I kind of alluded to the answer to that, but I don't know if I should tell you.
I mean, you don't have to, because I'll just ask my next
Because
question.
like here's you know what the problem is right here with,
Yeah.
with this question.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've already figured it out. You just want me to bullshit. That's what
No, bro, just go ahead, tell me, bro. I don't know. Nah, just say something, bro. Say it, bro.
I think you already said it. You're like in your head. You just want like, hey, if Myndfury's
The answer is find out soon. Like,
right. I think, Mops, I think you already. and it's not because I told. That's the thing. It's not because I tell him. I don't share hardly any of our future plans. Really.
Yeah.
You know, this is probably the first time I shared with Thoth, right? But other than that,
Yeah.
we don't really talk like that, Mike. We talk about we bullshit and everything.
Yeah.
Man.
But we don't
Outside
talk.
of
Yeah, we don't
popular
talk about that. Yeah, we don't talk about
Right.
no THRASH spoilers,
right.
bro.
It's and then he's like, he's doing his review, right? He's and I'm like, now DM him. Damn it, bro! like literally, that's how it goes. So, I man, okay, so I will say that it's not necessarily answered, but I have already alluded to the answer of that question.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just ask or say. I'll just say my other thing. You don't have to like say anything about it, but yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Cause it's like,
what do you think?
because it's like Dane's ideology or whatever matches up with a certain someone, and and they talked about how gods can give you power, and if she is or isn't a god, maybe she did it. Maybe she did something crazy. Injected some fear into the humans, a little bit. She did something crazy over there, You found somebody, that maybe matches up with her ideals. Maybe she, sparked something. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Maybe. Just maybe. I don't know, though. What you gotta think about that, Myndfury, or will you not say anything about it?
I can't say shit about that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was gonna be like, okay, based on how you react, I'm gonna know. That's that. Like, it's like depending on how you react, I pretty much could get it out of there.
I will say part of what you say is definitely leaning in the right direction. Just not. But I can't tell you which part of what you said is leaning the completely right direction.
I got you.
We plead the fifth.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much.
I think it's time. Eli, what's your favorite anime?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, the degeneracy is gonna.
Yes, sir, man.
My favorite anime, as well as book series, is the Monogatari series by Niseo Isa.
I ain't even seen that yet.
You haven't?
No, there's so much.
Made by Shaft.
Classless mongrel.
Classless. Have you have you seen maybe Rascal Doesn't Dream of a Bunny Girl Senpai?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that is heavily inspired from the Monogatari.
Damn.
Yeah, so they're quite
Interesting.
similar stories. Yeah, essentially, you know, it's a story that kind of masquerades as a harem for a little bit, and then really it's like a mystery story about this cast that you think is a harem cast.
You know, I will say, I wasn't the biggest fan of Rascal.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, I liked it, but I was just like, I'm just gonna go back to watching more Monogatari.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's interesting. If I ever watch that, I know there's a bunch of it to watch. You know.
There is a lot of it, and it's all in very weird and fucked up orders. So
Yeah.
if you ever need some help watching it in the correct order.
Correct. Yeah, I
correct
got you.
order.
I got you.
Yeah, it's very good. Essentially, yeah, like I said, it's a story that at first you think it's like some sleazy harem, and then
Yeah.
it starts getting into some real like interesting stuff about you know, how people save themselves from these
Okay,
you know,
okay.
monsters. Kind of like how in Rascal everyone is kind of like has this like scientific problem to them. Monogatari, everyone is like haunted by a specific like urban fantasy I guess folklore monster, and
Okay.
everyone has to like basically get exorcised from that monster. But of course they represent many different things. My interpretation of the story might be, you know, different from other people's, but
Yeah.
that is my favorite story. I am like honestly, if you ever ask me like how did you learn how to write, I will answer my favorite series. I know how to write from Nisio Isin. Yeah.
Okay. Any other favorites? I'd like to know your
Favorites.
top 5, top 10, whatever.
Top 5. Ooh, my top 5 is constantly changing.
Yeah. What's it
but
right now? What is it right now?
Right now, I'm gonna say number 2 is Steins Gate.
Okay.
love Steins Gate.
I still need
I
to
think
watch
Steins
that,
Gate
bro.
have you seen it?
No, I need to watch it because like I don't like my thing on that is like I don't want to watch an anime like if I'm not in the mood to watch the anime, you know, because
That's
like
fair.
I
It
hate
is like a bite, you know? You need
Yeah.
a full bite.
like I like especially like like thinky anime like that. I would prefer to watch it when I'm in the mood to watch it, or I'm just gonna like say I don't like it, but I know I would probably like it if I just watch it a different time, you know. That's what I hate about it, because like there's anime I've done that to, and I was like, damn, this sucks, because I didn't want to watch it now.
Well, then let me hit you with my number 3 then.
Okay.
Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, baby. Gurren
Oh,
Lagann.
let's go.
Let's fucking
go.
Love
I know,
Gurren Lagann.
but I
Have
don't
you
know.
never seen that?
I know about Andy
Oh,
Spiral. I
no.
know about Simon. I know. I just haven't watched it.
Oh no.
I've been told to watch it, so whatever. He's Simon to me.
This. Oh my God.
Simone. I'll watch it.
Dude, you starting to sound like Shiro now.
Oh no. Oh no.
Simone. I'll watch it. Don't worry. I've been told to watch it so many times,
we're
bro.
name dropping our Dylan tier author.
Yup.
Yo,
It's on the list, bro. It's on the list.
Okay. Well,
I've been told to watch it for so many times, bro.
all right. Number 4 then. Edge Runners. Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Oh, nice.
I need-
That was a good one.
I know
Still
I
haven't
haven't gotten to it due to the
Oh
fact,
my
you know, I
God.
heard different opinions on it. I heard different opinions on it. I heard literally like in my friend group, bro. People I trust with my like anime opinions, bro. There's just been too many complications. I'll watch it though. It's on my Netflix. It's on my list on Netflix, okay?
That's like,
That's
he
fair,
used
man.
like every excuse that person.
Bro.
When they don't want to do it, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I have friends.
I'll literally watch
You
it,
know?
bro. Like that,
I'll
I'll watch it. Don't worry.
I'll watch it after this, guys. Don't worry. As he not
All
watches it.
I'm not watching after this.
After this,
I'll
he's like,
watch
man,
it though at some
I'm
point in
not
I'm
time.
gonna be so mad if my number 5 has also not. I think it's impossible for you to not have seen anything from this series.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
But
Uh-oh. This is judgment time.
Fate?
Fate, have you seen any Fate?
No.
Fate.
Psych! I did. Fuck you. Ah!
Oh,
Get
no!
pranked. I watched Unlimited Blade Works,
Oh, okay, great.
as well as the first what the like Saber Alter movie. I watched that one. I don't know what it was called. I forgot it was called. But I watched that.
Heaven's Feel?
Yeah, I watched the first Heaven's Feel movie. That's what I did.
Oh, yeah, Heaven's Feel is great.
I've only watched that though. That's all I've watched in Fate. I don't think I'm gonna go super crazy into it, but that's what I've watched.
Oh yeah, no, that's perfect.
I'm the type of guy who sits down on a cold winter's rainy day and just what's cooking in the EMEA kitchen.
Yeah, I just like I can't do that. There's too much of it, bro.
No, there is.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot, bro.
It's like Star Wars. It's like a Star Wars of Japan. That's what I said.
Yeah, like what is
yeah.
it? I watched like the first when I was watching Faye, I was like, why is this 40 minutes long? Why is this 40
the first
minutes?
like 3 episodes are 40 minutes.
I was like, why am I watching movies, man? Like,
Were you able to watch AOT?
Of course,
That was like
of course.
An hour. Like,
I mean, okay. Here's what I think about it.
Inception?
Here, I finished the manga, so I know what's going on.
Oh, great.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
sorry for your
me
loss.
too.
Yeah, I mean, okay. What I think about the manga is it's not terrible. It was just like, damn, okay.
Yeah,
I guess.
I feel that.
Like, cause everyone's like shitting on. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's okay. Wow,
Yeah,
you
it's
end
like,
you end
okay.
AOT then. You end AOT, whatever.
Right.
Like, that's how I feel
It's
about
funny,
it, bro.
We still cannot really fully talk about the manga ending without this anime being over with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
because-
yo,
Spoilers.
Mappa's actually gross with how they're doing AOT. They're milking the
They're
absolute
milking
fuck out of
the
that.
hell.
bro.
Right, yeah,
It's
that's
for
true.
sure,
They're
for sure.
milking the hell
And
out of that.
I'll tell you what, they're also going to change the ending. I'm sure of that. They're
Oh,
gonna,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
they're gonna
like
do
it's
Game of
just so
Thrones,
dumb, bro.
Isayama was like hiding for his life during a con because of all the
All the
vitriol
upset.
he was getting because of the ending. He was like
Yeah.
literally like, "Hey guys, please be nice to me." Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
you're.
just a story, guys.
I like how most of them are international fans
Yeah,
that are just like
Yeah.
shitting on him for it, but it's like you end AOT this time. You write a series that got as big as AOT and end that series without anybody getting mad.
Especially as a
Yeah.
series is like, I mean, political.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan, right? Attack on Titan is very political.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Isayama's a known nationalist.
Exactly.
So
For sure.
It makes a lot of sense why it would be so so political.
Mhm.
Right, and especially in a time period where like in even in Japan, right, a lot of the political goings on. I'm not gonna pretend like
Right,
I'm from
yeah.
Japan,
Yeah.
and like know the inside of it, but like a lot of the political goings on is about like kind of rearming Japan.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of metaphors in Attack on Titan that have to do with that.
Right.
And then
exactly.
and then the ending just kind of ended up being a milk toast, like this is the good way to go about things.
Yeah, it's like it was like very like
Right.
like just kind of like meh. It was
Right.
just like I don't like you really ended off all that like
Democracy is
yeah,
good.
literally you literally ended off all that with just like we can all be good together. Peace.
Exactly.
Like you literally just like Jaegerist. And you're like, "Oh, I wanted Mikasa."
we I mean, like I think we all expected something much more based, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
lackluster in all honesty. That's what it was. It wasn't bad, it was lackluster.
Mhm.
That's how I felt about it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the same page about
Interesting.
I
Yeah,
agree.
it's just it's a shame. That's all it is. Cause that would like if it ended as base as it like went on, it probably would have been literally up there with like Full Metal Alchemist or whatever. It would have
Maybe.
been like right next to that, maybe above it. I don't know.
Now I want you to like really think about what you just said and how like regular you be trying to portray yourself. to be.
You know about it.
I just want you to think about that. Just
Yeah,
think
man.
about what you just
Moths
said.
is hella based.
This man is one of the deep. He's like Socrates over here, and he's like yeah. Sometimes I like to walk amongst folks,
Dude.
just see how they are.
The whole time we've been talking about like the concepts of like the end and like the history of religion and society, and then this guy's over here pretending like he didn't inspire that
Right.
conversation. Come on.
No,
man.
I don't know what you guys are talking
You think
about, bro.
Dude, were you lost? Like we were talking about like nihilism and characters that are forces of nature. Were you lost once? Be honest. Were you lost?
Have you ever
Absolutely.
seen Moths and the dean of Harvard in the same room?
I have.
Whatever.
Oh damn.
Whatever. This guy. He has like 3 PhDs.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I got my minors in storytelling and animation and the creative process of, I don't know, everything known to man. But hey, let me just go ahead and sit around and review shit for a living. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah. Yeah, why not, man? It's
Why
fun.
not? You know, it's fun.
Let's make fun of
exactly.
other people.
And then he gets into the conversations and he's over here like having like Freudian slips and shit, and we're talking about religion and inner workings of how religion and science intertwine. He's like, yeah, exactly. We're like, right?
Yo.
No, yeah, I wrote it. That was part of my like ninth grade thesis. You know, shut the fuck up. And let me just go ahead and do this interview, Myndfury. Shut the fuck up. Okay?
Yo,
All right?
the crazy thing about that is I ain't religious and I never liked science.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know, not deadass. I didn't. I'm not.
Why are you reading THRASH? Why? Why? Because it literally talks
It
about
cool.
mixed mediums.
It cool. That's it.
Nah. It has to be something that is just like, oh, that's sick. Like, come on.
Yeah,
bro.
man.
It's giving something else to you, bro.
It's giving Mommy Artemis, bro. That's what it's doing.
Outside of Mommy Artemis, because
Fuck.
she ain't been a factor for a little bit.
I just go back and read it.
Unless you cheating with Cerberus, that's something else, my guy.
Nah.
Hey, yo, no, I'm down for that. I didn't say anything. Myndfury sends me over the drafts. I'm like, that's good, and then I'm like, oh, let's go.
Yeah. This is all me. This is me.
No, but for real, like seriously, what outside of the cool, the epic factor, does it give you anything else or what?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like an entertaining to enjoy. It's an experience.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That I mean, it really is that. I mean, I don't really like I said to you and like a bunch of other people. I'll check it out if it's cool.
That's a big priority, right? Like,
Yeah, man.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, like I'll keep it a bug. If it's not cool, it's not cool. Sorry, it's not for me. It's not for
Oh,
me.
yeah, you made that painfully obvious during the hearing, bro. You made that so obvious. Bro.
Yo.
I was like, yo, let me watch my stories and shit. Let me just make sure I ain't.
I mean, like, speaking of tier lists, y'all have any opinions with that you would like that you see about this?
Opinion.
What?
Huge opinion.
Besides Dylan.
CEO.
Besides Dylan.
No,
Besides, I said it already. I said it.
Uh-oh.
No, bro, you're killing me. That's legit my only opinion.
No,
what do
for
you
sure.
really think of CEO?
As someone who has been talking about CEO way too much for the past week, what do you think about CEO? Just okay. One word at least. Start with one word.
I'm trying to think of a word.
Wow.
let me open my vocabulary real quick.
The
thesaurus is coming out
right there.
Yeah.
He's like,
It's I don't know. There's a couple of words that I'm trying to think of. Big boy words.
wow. He's like having the whole.
you hear like the flipping of like book pages, like something like this, and then he's just like consternation. Like, can you use that in a sentence?
No, I can't. I mean, it's kind of left me a little gobsmacked. There we go. Let's use that. Yeah.
Gobsmacked.
In what way?
It's just like it's I don't know. It's not really I wouldn't say it's one of Shiro's best works. I'll say that. That's where I'm gonna go with that.
That's fair.
I mean, I think.
I'm inviting Shiro right now. Here we go.
I mean, I still think Bloody Luck is kind of better than.
Yo, see, nobody agrees with. Yo, okay, you know what, Moffs? Respect granted. All the respect I lost for you, get it right back. I love Bloody Luck, and
not just because of legs, but
no, not just because of legs. I thought that the well, one, Voice Me needed a female
Mm-hmm.
protagonist. We do. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, we just
We
did.
we really need
And
a good one, bro. We really do.
right, right. But Shiro has a really good connection with his characters, and that's shown through with Bloody Luck. You
Mm-hmm.
know, although the run was only what, 7
Yeah.
episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Um, I felt that what I was able to connect with Rio a lot better and a lot faster than I have with other characters in the same medium. It's like
Dylan.
they have to do something. Yeah, like I still as a reader of CEO, it's like, oh, I wonder what his motivations are.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Beckett's not a good character,
Yeah.
but it's you wonder about the motivations behind it. What's really triggering these motivations here?
Yeah.
And it's that's okay to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Thrash, you kind of get 13's motivations, but then they're not expounded upon until much later.
Yeah.
Until a little bit later.
Right.
But I want that for Beckett. But I think Rio is such a. It's like if every, I guess every woman, every person was a person, it would be Rio, because I could immediately relate and say,
Mhm.
yeah, okay, cool.
It's a reasonable reason to do all this,
Right, yeah, it's a
Very understandable.
I forgot, it's I think the term verisimilitude, where it's believability,
Yeah.
and there were no flights of fancy with Rio. Very very to the point. I got it right away, and I still like Rio. I am still a fan of Bloody Luck, even though like people get on me about it. Moffs, they don't like me because of it.
I know I've seen some people, have not really great opinions of Bloody
It's a
Luck.
hot take yeah, it's a hot take to like Bloody Luck, but I love it, man.
I mean, like
no,
like
for
I'm not like the biggest like female lead series, but it's just like the fact that like half of these people really can't write women well, so it's
Right,
kind of
yeah.
not great. But like I really fuck with Rio. Like I would really like seeing more of Bloody Luck, but with how it's going, I don't really think it's going to unfortunately, unless it's like out of pocket, which is
Right,
unfortunate.
right.
Because like
Guys,
I would support that.
it is. I did not know that this was gonna last this long. It is
Mhm.
12:20, and I have to go.
Yo, yeah.
All right then. I mean, like, but I guess we can end off with Bloody Luck up, you down, I guess.
See, now you guys heard it here. What Mouse really thinks of CEO.
It's only Dylan here because it's Dylan. That's the.
True.
That's true. Yeah.
Yo, if
But-
that's the goodwill we got, that's the goodwill we're riding on. Baby.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yes, sir. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, showing up today.
Of course, it was a pleasure.
Absolutely, bro.
Yes, sir, man. I mean,
Meeting you and talking to you.
yeah, I have another interview this week with Faye. It's over in the Voice Me server, so that'd be gonna be interesting.
Oh,
That's
that's
fantastic. Yo, let
Yeah.
me make an event for that. I'll
I mean,
do
I
it
know,
and stuff.
I have like Percy setting it up. I got Percy.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That works too.
yeah, I got
Oh, yeah,
Percy
yeah,
doing
yeah.
all the work.
he's good now. Like Mouse, in with the people.
Yeah, man.
Ever
man.
since he got that little Dylan.
Something
interview,
slight,
he's been big timing. He big timing.
something slight, nothing crazy,
Too good for us. PhDs and shit.
I know what the.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, no, this was excellent interview. Thanks for
Mhm.
having me.
Yeah, man.
Mouse, once again, thanks for talking with me, talking to shit
course.
and everything, bro.
Of course.
It's always a blast.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yep. Appreciate you guys pulling up again once more.
Of
Absolutely.
course.
But yeah, I guess I'll catch y'all later.
Bye bye.
All right.
Yeah.
Late, man.